Good morning, fellow Nerd members. Toyota Matt here. A little something new from the Black Angels. That's today's music of choice, and that's At Jared. It's called. Pretty snappy tune. Pretty big. Something pretty big happened sooner than I expected. That's kind of how it works and what I do. You know, things come in the mail. Things take a while. Some things happen fast. So without further ado and any more chatty matty, ladies and gentlemen, introducing 78310-60420 cable subassembly choke. A quick ride. Excuse me. I have engineered and designed much less of a reproduction choke cable, but my own design. There's already reproduction ones out there, and I felt that reinventing the wheel was was my path. It was my chosen path. Well, barrel stop equipped. So what we have here, 78310-60420. Toyota never made the 60420. That's my part number. I own it, and I thought it up. So what we have here, get some stage lighting in here, is nothing less than a very snappy knob. It's the international language logo with a choke butterfly. I could have had the word choke put on, but not a fan of Anglo-Saxon text on Toyota knobs and devices. I like international language logos. The non-USA far away. That's where I trot and roll. The knob is removable. See the set screw right there. I wanted a removable knob. The D-groove shaft under here, under the weather cap, is the exact same size as the Land Cruiser dash, so no drilling required, no mods. Is a plug and play part. And if you can see the D-groove feature right there. See that? That D-groove, that's the orientation curve in the dash. And this cap is a weather cap. And, you know, one of the biggest gripes I had with Toyota choke cables after restoring them for almost a decade for folks is how crusty they got. Stainless steel shaft. Adjustable. It's a composite housing. It's UV rated jacket. I also have a pet peeve about grommets. I will have Grommet World up in Adam here shortly, so keep in mind about Grommet World. That will be the one-stop shop for anything OEM Toyota, grommets, plugs, etc. So when you think of grommets, think of Grommet World. So the 78310-60420 comes with an integrated grommet. It plugs in the dash and it's part of the cable, just like speedometer cables, for example, and choke cables came with them too. So this goes on the firewall of a 2F engine platform. Now for the interesting part. Houston, something wicked this way comes. I saw one thing commonality which didn't make them restorable is they come out of the carburetor and they make a quick bank turn. That's a right angle, and they would fail. There'd be a cap on the end and they'd splay, excuse me. And stainless steel braided cable with an integrated aluminum barrel stop. This cable's for the barrel stop carburetors, which is everything these days. From the 21-100-61-012 all the way through the aftermarket ones you find on eBay, the Chinese knockoffs. Nothing is the fisheye style anymore, so I don't know that I'll ever build a fisheye cable. We'll see where that goes, but this is nothing less than armor plating, and it directs the cable. Now, if you don't understand that, you will here in a second, because this is what fueled my fire and nothing less than pushed me to come up with a creative approach to solving the problem. So let's zoom in. Bear with me 1 second. Oh, if you see some green connectors in the background there, well, just keep looking at them. We'll talk about those. Alright, so let's see which way the lighting likes to work. There. Yeah. Let's see here. It's a little tough to. I want to just obstruct it a little bit. There we go. That's pretty cool. One day I'm going to get the dog the bounty hunter glasses and just wear them. Okay, so back to tech. So this is the bracket, the standoff bracket that the usual choke cable, this ferrule end cap is immobilized in. That's where the failure occurs because it comes out of here and makes this sharp right turn, like sharper than 90 degrees. So I said, no more. You know, the choke cable that was designed for the 40, you know, that technology was from the 60s. This is fresh 2022 technology, so we'll see. Time will tell and history will be the judge. So, sorry about that. So here we go. Let's get the professor's pointer. The barrel stop engages first, as you see there, and it goes in its cradle. Then, this is where the magic happens. Watch to the right of your screen. I'm going to try to do this without any interference with my fingers. Watch what you see. Bam. Right before the turn, my 78310 60420 then ducks into the radius. It's clear of the rod, a push-up rod here, and you could articulate it this way based on what you want, but I know where it's supposed to go, so I'm going to say right about there. It's nice and tight, grips it. Now, take a look at what we got going on here. Cable comes out, is immobilized in the standoff bracket factory style. That's nice and tight and goes in the barrel stop, okay? So we got that set up. That would be the first installation step, and these are the installation directions more or less. So study hard and pay attention. Look at that. Isn't that one sexy little housing? Lime green. So let's take the cap off. We need to put something else on. Let's see, what do we want to listen to now? I'm just going to go with the Black Angels. I hear colors. I see colors. Okay, now I put the carb on an insulator because then the linkage will work. So let's I want you guys to see the movement here because this is what I did it for. Okay, so in your screen, this is the carb butterfly right here. Pay attention to that. There's the rod coming out of the butterfly, and then here's the accelerator pump. As the choke is operated, the accelerator pump gives a little gas. So here we go, ready? So there's the mirrors. And you know, I've got this going around in a circle, but there we go. Fully closed. That is one hot knob. I love the international language logo. Insane. So, there we go. Fit, form, and function. I also wanted to do a big shout out to Pinhead. At Pinhead, years ago he put a video on YouTube on how to rebuild the ASSY 2F carburetor, and you know, he's like the older generation I look up to, and Pinhead, this is for you, buddy. 78-310, 60420. You partly inspired it, so thank you, sir. But bam. So this cable is long enough to skate all around the oval valve cover, a canister style non-USA one, okay, or an FJ40 dash. So it's set up for all of them. I mean, it's nice. So okay, 78-310, 60420 doesn't live again. It now rules the roost, leads the pack, sets a benchmark, and I hope it's going to be the status quo. I wanted to bring out something different and something that's a game changer. I tried to improve upon every single part. This is a marine grade cable. It will not corrode and it will not fail. So I've done some durability and stretching stress tests on it. So let's relax to 60420. Okay, so let's rotate the back around here. I want you guys to see something else since we're on topic here. I have brought the 21062 61020 2-wire fuel cut solenoid back from the dead. That is a reproduction part, and that's alive once again. Take a look at that connector. Now, in my kit, in case you have a single wire, like on some Chinese carburetor or something like that, you're going to get the harness side connector, the female, with brass terminals and a rubber plug in the back, and that can mate on it, because it's an old crusty connector and a new one. So I had to do some headhunting to get green, but OEM green is what I had to have it my way. I get made fun of one of my electrical connector buddies about the color key connectors, but bring on the humor, bring on the fun. I make no excuses for my green connector fetish. So listen, ready? Bam, look at that. That's a weather sealed, waterproof Samota connector. So I got a run made for myself, and me and my golden key. I'm gonna wrap up the video here. I just want to see if we could dive in and look at the choke butterfly operate with the 60420 in hand. The 60420 is a smooth operator. It'll never have to be oiled. It's sealed in the casing. There we go. International language logo. Done deal. I got the throw perfectly right down to the millimeter. That's the throw. And then, you could make it go halfway. It has a bushing in here that keeps it tight. As you tighten the face down, it will nothing less than hold its position. So I love that international language logo. But anyway, yeah. So we've got the 78-310 60420, which is a reproduction part of sorts. It's a combination SEMA spec, concept vision part, and reproduction part. And then, of course, the fuel cut solenoid, the 21062 61020. We're the exclusive vendor and offering of the 2-wire choke solenoid with the proper Land Cruiser connectors. I'm not talking green, I'm talking about the profile. So you could just buy the solenoid, purchase that, and it'll plug into the harness. It's polarized with the correct positive and negative and all that sort of stuff. And that took a while. It's got the fireproof, the white fireproof loom on it, the cloth loom, which is definitely, it's the same stuff. My little banner here, but take note of that. It's routed in the factory routing with the cloth loom. So it's a shame my good buddy GI Architect got a sniper, because I know he'd want a 60420, but I want to throw something out there. The first mud member that contacts me after they see this video via PM and simply repeats the part number 78-310 60420, I will hook you up with a choke cable for a 40 with the agreed implied consent that you will install it within a week of getting it and take pictures. That's the deal. So the first one's on me. So I can do that, and I'm happy to do it. So the oil cap is still in the works. So that'll be real soon. As a community, I'll touch on something real quick. A gentleman in the 60 series forum, that is 62, ganked. As a community, we are a great people, and together we could do a great many things. Vintage Toyota related. I didn't do this choke cable alone. I had the inspiration from Mark Algazi at 65 SKUNK-WORKS. Mark fostered my initial interest with choke cables 15 years ago and started the choke cable variations thread. So my final words, I want to give a big shout out to Mark Algazi from Mark's Off-Road in Burbank, California. Support Mark and what he's doing. He's been turning the TEQ gears for over 30 years. Toyota Matt, over and out.